welcome back, Plugs and Thugs.
Hey,
Episode
USA.
Let's go, baby. The boys.
Hey.
USA. What was that, Alex? Did you have a chant going back there?
Yeah, I started it. I'm done now. You can get to the intro.
Oh, well, all right. Well, as always, after the USA chant, my name's Daniel.
Sorry. My name is Zach.
Oh,
All right.
Okay.
That's Alex. I'm Scott. Hey, how's it going?
You know,
How we
intros
doing?
are nice. We got
Intros
really
are
bad at
nice.
these intros with video.
Yeah.
We just got to have
Yeah,
we just have to have a format.
We gotta get back to the pointing we used to do.
Oh yeah.
Boom, boom. Wait, wrong way. Boom, boom, boom.
Boom.
I wasn't even paying attention. I was sharing it out on my phone.
That's okay. But yeah,
Bro,
we're back.
why are they comparing Lafreniere and Byfield, bro?
Hold on, rewind, Zach.
Who
Zach,
knows?
hold on. To start our show today, we're gonna start a new segment. It's called Zach's Soapbox. Zach, take it away.
I mean, what I want to know is this, bro. Like, number one, where on the doll did Quentin Byfield hurt you? And number two, who the fuck is comparing Quentin Byfield to Alexis Lafreniere?
I feel like we need context for this, Zach.
All right, in our Discord, people, it just came straight out of left field, bro. Just Quentin Byfield hate. Someone called him Quentin Bustfield, dude. All right. The kid is just turned 18 years old in August. Hadn't played hockey in X amount of time, and I don't think anybody has ever fucking said he's Alexis Lafreniere. Now, do I think he may have a better career than Alexis Lafreniere? Maybe. Some analysts seem to agree with my statement. But with that being said, why the fuck are we comparing them?
Well, you know, people just decided they want to do this because they're very hurt today.
You guys forget that,
and that's really all it is at this point.
Why are they hurt?
Because Canada lost to USA.
USA.
And
USA.
Hold on. They were shut out by the USA.
USA.
You guys
So cool, bro.
You guys also forget. By the way, Q updated a comment from the same guy who just said Zegras is better than any other American prospect. But okay, but
I mean, Zegras is very skillful, and he can put up a lot of
He's gonna be a
points.
great player. Yeah.
But I mean,
this guy probably also ranks Erik Karlsson towards number one of defensive prospects or defensive players because he scores a lot of points.
let's ask him.
Arthur Kaliev is the NHL's next great goal scorer. It's happening.
Let's see
I think so. I mean, they played fantastic.
What do you think of Erik Karlsson?
we can really get into this for just a second because it was on the notes, and we weren't sure if we were going to watch the whole final. But just before we get into it, we are having our show today. We're a week away from the NHL starting up. We are going to get into our bounce back candidates, our predictions for who's going to make the playoffs. It's a little bit different format, obviously, that everybody knows. Top 4 teams from each division are going. There's no wild cards. And then we will also be covering our predictions for the awards, who we think before the season starts, who's going to win all of the big awards that are going, that happen at the end of the year.
Yeah.
But that's kind of what we're going to cover today, in addition to some news and notes that happened right before the season started. And then now we're going to get into the World Juniors because it just ended. USA won yet again. Just to reiterate that, they did win gold over Canada 2-0. And that's what we're going to kick off the show with before we go into one discussion topic and then into the actual core of the show today.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck those
So, go ahead. You guys
go America.
I completely forgot that we had topics that we're getting into. Oh shit, my bad.
It's all right. We're starting with WJC. It just ended.
Okay, so number one, from what I've heard, Quentin Byfield was thrusted into a more shutdown defensive role. He wasn't put out there to score a shit ton of goals. That's what I've heard. That just like Alex Turcotte, they did with him last season, last WJC, Alex Turcotte was thrusted more into like a shutdown role. And I think it helped him as a center, because in this WJC, he has facilitated pretty much every goal that Arthur Kalias have scored. And he's also fed the puck to Zegras a lot. Zegras is going to be a great forward.
Yeah.
He's going to be a great scoring forward. Now, I don't know too much about his defensive prowess, because, I mean, you do need to play defense in the NHL. But with that being said, he's shifty. He puts the puck on the net, and he puts the puck in the net. But, dude, the Kings organization has on display tonight, bro. On display. I mean, we didn't have a prospect in the Russia game, but all three teams that medaled have Kings prospects on them, dude. Simon Tavel from Finland. You had Byfield and Spence on the Canadian team, and you had Turcotte, Kaliev, and Faber. Bro, Faber, Turcotte, and Kaliev on the ice together is magic.
Yeah, it looks
so
beauty.
nice.
That entire line is phenomenal. Like, to the point where I almost want to trade for Zegras just to keep that chemistry going.
I wouldn't mind it.
That line was.
What does that cost us?
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, depending on what we have to give up, like, I'm down.
Take every prospect outside of our 6 best.
Definitely want to send them Byfield.
Oh yeah, because he's not one of those.
Yeah.
Six, right? He's a trash can.
Jad,
He didn't put up 25 points in the fucking 7 games that he played. He's a bust.
I mean, aside from the actual WJC games and how it shaped out, just to touch on that too, I mean, I don't know why people. Like I said, I understand the people that are talking about it are Canadian and they're just bitter because Byfield. They were probably expecting him to come in and just be a machine, but we think the Kings had kind of told him to put him in a shutdown role, see how he fits in there. I mean, teams do have say what they're doing in the WJC. It's pretty much like training camp for them. And I mean, realistically, when it comes down to it, it's like the WJC, aside from the whole country aspect and these kids 20 years old vying for a gold medal game, to be honest with you, this means nothing for their careers. There are so many people that have, people that have come into the WJC, completely dominated the tournament and couldn't crack a roster. And then you have other people that have, played like straight trash, and it didn't really matter because it doesn't do anything for their career. I mean, it's really just a personal thing and a training camp for these guys. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. So I don't know why people yeah, I understand in this day and age, everybody just wants to put weight on every single little thing that people do. We want to compare everybody to everybody else. It's the same thing. We talk about this stupid comparison all the time. You got like people comparing different generations in all sports. It's like, just appreciate what you have and don't put so much weight on, a very small sample of games.
Yeah. Like,
it's ridiculous.
If you measure it by the NHL level, like, you can't compare the elite play style of a Patrice Bergeron with the elite play style of, like, Nikita Kucherov.
No.
They're both.
No, you can't.
Zach, I think your mic is muted.
I am muted. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I'm trying to hear this video. Hold on. Give me a second. Let me hear this video.
Yeah.
I gotta hear this.
Go ahead. Then go to Scott if you're or are you asking Zach a specific question?
No. It was just because I saw him responding to what I was saying.
Oh, got it.
You can be elite. Okay, there's that.
I'm sorry. But dude, you remember that play where Connor the ref blew the whistle a little too early on Connor Zary, right there towards the end?
Yeah.
Dude, when he got on the ref's face, you could hear the ref saying, "Get the fuck out of my face." That's awesome.
But it's the same thing. Like, you can't compare like a goalie to a forward. And I mean, I get it. I feel both forwards, but they're both very different types of players.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
And I don't consider him there just yet, but even if Byfield is this franchise's blue chip #1 prospect, I don't expect him to tee up even 40 goals a season consistently. Even 30. I'd like to see 30. That's not going to be his job. We don't need that.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know though. No, I don't know though. No, I don't.
We want a
Kopitar
Kopitar-like player, but like
we do. But what's been the biggest detriment to Kopitar his entire career? He's had no talent around him.
Oh, but no, the biggest detriment to Kopitar's whole entire career has been him. He doesn't shoot enough.
Yeah, he doesn't. I was going to say he passes too much, but no. I mean, that goes hand in hand to what Alex just said. He likes being a playmaker, but he hasn't had the talent on the wings that Alex was talking about. If you have that on the wing, his playmaking. I mean, we talk about it all the time. His playmaking ability is just insane. If he had guys on the wing like some of these other centers have, I mean, that's what it comes down to.
Last week's episode, everybody talks about this dead tie between Bergeron and Kopitar, but you look at the body of work in terms of the rosters that have surrounded them their whole careers, and it's drastically different rosters. So the argument could be made that Kopitar is a better player for producing those kinds of numbers with, far less superior lines.
With less.
Exactly. Now, again, that's what I'm saying. You look at the prospects that we have coming in, guys like Kaliyev, Turcotte, Velarde. There's a lot of forward talent in the pool now, like guys that we're really excited for. We have a lot of potential strong top six guys. Kaliyev could be a 40-50 goal scorer in the NHL, I think, if he keeps developing the way he is. Why does Byfield need to be the guy? I'm saying
he doesn't. He's going to be the playmaker. Really,
the talent that we have, and we always forget Fagemo for some reason, but Fagemo also, we have so much wing depth that he doesn't need to come in and be a 30-goal scorer. He needs to be a 50 to 60 assist player and be solid in his own end and have a good transition game. And that's all I want in an elite center. That's all I want in my franchise center at this point.
Who knows, David? Who knows? But dude, so he responded back to my question. Offensively gifted, not the best offensively. So offensively up there, but defensively one of the softer ones. Number one,
at least that's
sick diplomatic answer. And then number two, somebody said John Carlson, but better. Bro, you got some fucking cones on your team, Alex. You got some fucking cones on your team, bro.
Dude, and I do want to touch on, I put Adam's note up here. This is true.
Yeah,
I mean,
same.
That is the thing. They will always, what?
I just want to pop up. John Carlson is the second best defenseman in the NHL. Don't put John Carlson. You know my answer.
Hedman?
Victor Hedman?
Yeah.
I was gonna say him or
I can see that though. Honestly, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna argue with that.
Him or Roman Yossi.
Yeah.
I feel like
maybe not anymore, but yeah.
Well, Yossi's still in his tail end of his 20s, but not too far into the tail end. He's still got room. I just feel like everything that Roman Josi is elite at, Victor Hedman and John Carlson are just more elite at it.
Yep.
Because even between Victor Hedman and John Carlson, even that could be argued. You could swap either one of those guys as the best defenseman in the league and still make the argument. It's a very, very narrow line. And then obviously Drew Dowdy third, because we talked about it last week when Scott wasn't here. Best transition defenseman in the NHL. Period. Maybe in the history of them.
Yeah,
we digest.
But yeah. Anyways, I wanted to touch on Adam's thing here. Yeah, it's true. So that will be the thing. So I guess that is the reason people probably touch on it. Aside from Canadian people just being bitter right now. I mean, I understand it. I have nothing.
But at the same time,
from the game tonight, nobody cares. But they will always compare 1 and 2. But at the same time, let them play in the NHL before you compare them 1 and 2.
Exactly.
And comparing WJCs is like comparing dick sizes in a food eating contest. Nobody cares.
Good analogy there. I respect the analogy. No, but honestly, it's like trying to compare Connor McDavid to Jack Eichel. It's both of these guys are franchise guys. That doesn't just because Connor McDavid is much better than Jack Eichel is, we're not going to say, oh, Jack Eichel's a bust because he went right after Connor McDavid and he's not as good. Lafreniere was supposed to be a different player, and honestly, there's a reason that everyone the year before was saying he's going first overall.
Yeah. This is just me splitting hairs on your argument, and only because it's our show and we do what we want. But
yeah, true.
I actually feel like Jack Eichel and Connor McDavid are the most comparable 1-2 pairing in recent memory because they actually have a very similar game. I would argue that if we're trying to make that 1-2 argument, it would be like comparing Connor McDavid and Patrick Laine, or Austin Matthews and Patrick Laine.
Well, they're different. Patrick Laine and Connor McDavid are just different.
That's exactly. Well, that's the argument that I'm making.
But even still, though, Jack Eichel doesn't play the same game as Connor McDavid. Connor McDavid is speed and attacking like that, dude. Like Jack Eichel's not a speedster, bro. He's not the fastest one out there on the ice. He's more of a get the puck into the zone, move it around, and fucking find the open man, or he gets open for a one-time blast. You know what I mean?
All right, Matt. Sure. False. Eichel is better. He says.
He's fucking around. He's a Sabres fan. Oh, Guzzlord has entered the building. But I mean, yeah, sure. I get it. Like, I hate the comparison, of course, the 1-2, but I also just hate comparisons in general. Like, not the comparisons Alex was doing. Alex last week, he was making comparisons to like their game and how they like their play style. Not this guy's better because
I should reaffirm that argument because I got some flack from people for that. Guys, when I say that a prospect is like Paul Coffey, I do not mean that he is a 6 foot tall, 43-year-old man. I mean that his play style reminds me of that player. I do not expect him to develop into Paul Coffey.
Yeah, which by the way,
to Paul Coffey.
Anytime that someone before the draft or during the draft, they always have that like comparison of like this player is most like this. That doesn't mean, you can expect a player to play. Like there are so many times where it's comparisons of like this player plays like Mario Lemieux. That doesn't mean he's going to put up Mario Lemieux numbers and he's expected to.
It's play style.
It just means his play style is close to that. Yeah, exactly.
And then people blow it out of proportion because welcome to media.
Yeah.
Well,
and the internet.
That's a big oof there. Way better shot at missing the playoffs. You mean Jesus?
It's funny because when you look at last year's draft, Callie was being compared to Tavares and Debrinket just because he was coached in juniors by the same guy. But he could not be farther from Debrinket or Tavares especially.
Oh, yeah. No. The kid is just a sniper. That's all he is. He's a big old fucking...
A big old bitch.
Yeah, big old pussy.
But we digest.
All right, we're going there, huh?
He's a fat old pussy.
So, WJC, USA wins.
USA!
It was an awesome tournament. It was an awesome tournament. We saw a bunch of players. I do want to make sure I do a shout out for Spencer Knight, especially since G is tuned in. Absolute monster. I mean, he said it best in the Discord. He said the Florida Panthers' best goalie doesn't have a cap hit.
I said it while you were gone, Alex, before the podcast started, where I said I listed his medals, and he's rocking the under-18 bronze, the under-20 silver, under-18 silver, and under-20 gold. Is now what Spencer Knight rocks at the age of 19.
Wow.
Love to see it.
He's a monster.
And a contract with the Florida Panthers. Or rights by the Florida Panthers.
Bobrovsky who?
These niggas to the NHL and get Swiss cheesed, watch.
All right. Let's move on.
Wow.
Yeah, we have another...
Only bit of news that we really have to discuss aside from a bunch of contract extensions. The NHL is finally adding ads and sponsored division names to their helmets. Yay. Secondary marketing.
No, this one is actually this isn't going to be a long topic, but something I wanted your guys' feedback on or opinions on, because not only are some teams doing the ads on their helmets now. I don't know if you saw, Alex, because you were working today. They released that the divisions are also being sponsored, like the West, North. You'll see it at the bottom. So the North Division is Scotiabank is sponsoring it. The West is Honda. Central is the Discover.
It pisses me off so much that it's Honda.
Yeah, of course. And then East is Mass Mutual division.
Which makes sense because, New Yorkers.
Yeah. So, it's not going to be a long discussion, but I kind of wanted to get your thoughts on it because I did see a ton of people, especially about the divisions, going on Twitter rants.
Honestly, bro, it's a bunch of fucking boomers, dude. It's a bunch of fucking, 17-year-old guys who are literal boomers. Like, oh, my God, make hockey great again. I don't give a shit, bro.
Yeah, honestly.
I don't give a shit. It doesn't affect me at all. The ads on the helmet aren't going to affect me at all. I'm still going to watch fucking hockey.
The only thing that's going to bother me is if they do the KHL thing where they do just the fucking bumper stickers across the top of the helmets that aren't.
Yeah, I don't like those either.
That's an ad.
It looks like it has fucking Velcro on the back of it, right?
Yeah.
Like they stuck it on Velcro.
Shout out to Mr. Mavs 3441. I don't know.
That's
who
G.
he is, but
real gentleman.
Oh, okay, yeah. He pretty much hit my point on the head. He says, I'm for the ads. We want the flat cap to go away. The NHL needs to make revenue. I agree 100%. I even think we talked about it a couple seasons ago when we talked about, the potential.
We did, about the jerseys.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I brought this topic up last time, but when I played paintball, the big thing was if you were sponsored by a team or if you were sponsored by a company, their logo went on your jersey. And if you look at a lot of mid 2000s to early 2010s professional paintball teams, they're just fucking jerseys are just littered with brand sponsors to the point where they designed their jerseys around said sponsors, which you obviously can't do in hockey because the fabric is built differently. But I'm all for it, man. As long as it looks tasteful, the salary cap goes up, and it's good for the game, I'm all for it.
Yeah, I agree. So that was my exact tweet to this earlier when I saw it on Twitter. I said, I truly don't understand the backlash. People want hockey to get all the good things, but in a pandemic year causing massive revenue loss, they have a problem with them trying to maintain revenue. They have to do this for the business. And I told him to grow up. And then I saw another tweet that said, hold on, where's it at? Sorry. Anyways, I'll go on my thoughts so that's really what it comes down to. I think I agree with Zach as far as maybe it's the older folk, but I did see a lot of young people on it too, complaining about it. I'm like, I don't
Boomer
understand.
mentality affects all generations, bro.
Yeah, that's
Boomer
true.
mentality affects
Very
all generations.
true.
I bet you there's some boomer mentality going on with the first female assistant coach winning a gold medal tonight. Dude, when somebody mentions it, right? When somebody mentions it, the first female assistant to win, a gold medal, somebody's gonna. I'll guarantee you, you're gonna see somebody say, "Why can't it just be the first blah blah blah? A person won a medal." It's like, shut the fuck up, bro.
Fuck out of here.
True.
I saw, dude, I saw an article. This is completely side note, but dude, I saw an article where it was the first black astronaut to stay on the International Space Station for this amount of time, and somebody's like, "Why can't it just be an astronaut?" It's like, shut the fuck up, shut up, dude. Oh my god, I hate people. Boomer mentality, bro. Boomer fucking mentality.
I just wanted to read the funny one that I saw. It says, I was against, and it's true. I was against all of this for the longest time, but in the new COVID economy, I'm less resistant to naked cash grabs to save the league. You could insult my mother on the broadcast if it meant an uninterrupted season. This power play brought to you by Dan's mom, not being as good as a cook as she thinks she is.
Oh, yeah, I love it, dude.
That's so good.
It's so wholesome, but I love it.
It's true. We get hockey.
100%.
If you want to see not losing revenue for multiple seasons, you have to do something.
Boom. This right here.
Yes.
NHL is losing 806 regular season games and limited fans. It needs revenue.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck
Not
up.
only is the league losing that revenue, arenas and teams are losing. There's going to be less jersey sales, less merchandise sales, less beer sales, less food sales, less parking sales, which is a thing. No season ticket sales. People just don't think about it that analytically, and
they just say, I see an ad, I don't like it.
Just like they don't think about hockey analytically.
Yeah, that's true.
True. I don't know.
I felt sucks.
All right. You want to jump into the news?
Yeah, rifle through the news and then get through the meat and potatoes of this episode. So we did have some news happening with signings and trades and stuff over the last month or so. So Philip Myers signed a 3-year, $7.65 million deal with Philadelphia.
Hold on. Just saw a tweet right now.
Yes.
For the second year in a row, an LA Kings prospect scores the game-winning goal at the World Juniors.
Hey!
Let's go. Let's fucking go.
Yeah. Anthony Duclair did finally sign after rejecting the Ottawa Senators' initial offer for a 1-year, $1.7 million contract with Nashville, a better team.
Yeah.
Connor
I think
Sheary,
he might have a decent season with them.
I think so too.
Yeah,
I think he can slot in the top 6. He had a great season last year. That's why he gambled on himself to try to get a better deal.
True.
And probably get out of Ottawa.
I just want him to succeed, bro. I've always liked Anthony Duclair. He just seems like such a soft-spoken and a gentleman. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't know what it's been.
Connor Sheary leaves Pittsburgh again. 1-year, $735,000 contract with Washington.
That's a great depth signing for Washington.
Yeah, I think so.
We'll see if he gets traded at the
with the
deadline
price, of course.
to the Penguins again, because that seems to be what happens. He'll sign somewhere and then get traded back.
Connor Sheary on the 4th line with Nick Dowd and fucking it's Garnett Hathaway. That could be pretty deadly.
Yeah.
Mackenzie Blackwood signed a 3-year, $8.4 million contract. Stay with New Jersey, 2.8 AAV.
Stop your fucking tapping, Alex.
Sorry.
I'm dropping shit over here too, so making noise like crazy.
What you got hearing? Because I'm not actually tapping anything.
It was probably me, actually. I think I was tapping here. Can you hear this?
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
Unprofessional.
Casey Middlestat signed a 1-year, $874,000 deal with Buffalo.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Ryan Miller sticks with Anaheim on a 1-year deal. It didn't release. I'm sure it's a minimum.
They got family out here, dude. So I mean, they have to. All of his family's out here. That's why Matt Molson, I think, came out and stayed. Well, no, Jonathan Quick's sister is married to Ryan Miller, isn't she? Isn't that what it is?
Yeah, I believe that's it. It's either that.
I thought it was Matt.
I thought it's either that or Jonathan Quick is married to Matt Molson's sister.
Molson. I thought it was Molson. It's Matt Molson.
Yeah.
But I know Ryan Miller and Jonathan Quick, like their families are close. I mean, it makes sense. He's going to retire in California.
I think so.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, he's at the tail end of his career, anyways. It was probably a 1-year league minimum.
He's at the tail end of his career for like 6 years and just keeps staying just relevant enough.
Yeah, well, I mean, at least he keeps signing 1-year deals and not binding a team.
Hey, that's how you make millions.
That's
true.
Stay relevant just a little bit longer every single year.
Yep.
Anthony Cirelli signed a 3-year, $14.4 million contract. Stay with Tampa Bay.
They got fucking lucky with Kucherov, dude. I fucking hate it.
Yeah, I don't know why that's not even on here. Yeah, Kucherov, as we know, injured.
Out for the season.
Long-term IR, so get to utilize his cap.
Duclair signed
Ilya Kovalchuk going back to the KHL.
Already back to the KHL.
Avangard. Yeah, Avangard. He signed there, I think, a month and a half ago. Mike Hoffman signed a PTO finally. PTO,
I don't get that, bro.
St. Louis. I don't understand that either.
So I heard a theory. That he wants to sign with St. Louis, right? But he wants to stay in shape. So he's waiting for St. Louis's cap to open up so that they can sign him and slot him in as their top winger with Tarasenko out. But he's just waiting for the cap to open up.
Why would anybody do that though? Like, he just doesn't have it anymore, bro. He doesn't.
No, he doesn't. I agree. I don't think he has it.
I think he's got a shot.
I don't think it's a theory.
Yeah.
I think it's a little weird that it's a PTO, but I feel like a lot of players kind of did that this year, especially like we talked about flat cap. Maybe he wants to go to a better situation.
there's a
and
lot
they just don't have it available yet.
Oh, we're not talking about Ilya Kovalchuk. We're talking about Mike Hoffman. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I mean that's good for St. Louis. That's good for St. Louis, but I mean that's just fucking weird.
If that's how it works out, it is very non-conventional. But then again, you look at this whole season has been very non-conventional. So are we really surprised at this point?
No.
Carl Soderberg agreed to a 1-year deal with Chicago. He had a couple good seasons in Colorado. I mean,
that's a great signing for them. He's a very responsible defenseman or defensive center in his own end. So that's a good pickup.
I mean, they're gonna need depth with Taves' situation. We don't know what's going on. I mean, he's out. We don't know how long.
Yeah.
Nobody knows yet.
And Kirby Dach being out for a while.
Yeah, Doc with his nasty ass fucking wrist. That picture was just disgusting.
That was awful.
Yeah, that was gut wrenching.
His wrist straight looked like a Z.
I had. How did you say it, Zach? We said Athanasiou for so long, but
Andreas Athanasiou.
Yeah, it's Athanasiou.
Yeah,
Athanasiou. Which I'm very excited about this.
Yeah. We talked about it on the Kings Centric podcast last week. But yeah, I mean, good signing there. Corey Perry heading to Montreal, 1 year, $750,000 deal.
Bro, their third line's going to be fucking banging this season, bro. Mm-hmm. Josh Anderson, Corey Perry. Who else did they get? Fucking, there was another big body. Wayne Simmons? No, Wayne Simmons in Toronto.
It'll be Phil Deneau, I think, on the 3C, possibly.
Adam said that made me want to puke. When you're talking about that Kirby Dach.
Kirby Dach, yeah.
I thought he was wanting to puke about Corey Perry. I was like, yeah, me too.
Yeah, same, honestly, though.
This was surprisingly big news because we just figured Zdeno Chara was going to keep signing 1-year deals with the Boston Bruins. He ended up signing
1-year deals with the Boston Bruins.
What happened?
I said I think even Zdeno Chara thought that.
Yeah. No, I mean that's what it was. So I mean, yeah, that was the plan. So after 14 seasons, he ends up leaving the Bruins, heading to the Washington Capitals. 1 year, $795,000 contract. According to what he said, it had nothing to do with the money. Boston said that they were open to bringing him back, but he was going to be in a much more reserved role. Boston. Yeah, I said Boston. Sorry. Boston said they wanted to bring him back in a more reserved role. And Washington was giving him, I guess, more playing time, and he still wants to play. So, I mean, good for him.
Did you guys hear Ovechkin's response to this?
No.
He said that, I think this was still assuming that Lundqvist is playing. He had said that if you had told me 3 years ago or 2 or 3 years ago that I'd be on the same team with Chara and Lundqvist, I would have told you that you're crazy.
That's about right.
Can you guys imagine that those two signings 5 years ago for the Capitals?
God,
that would have been awesome.
Yeah,
that would have been amazing.
That would have been a dynasty right there.
Their top defensive pair, their top line would have been what? Backstrom, Kuznetsov. It would have been Pete Oshie, Backstrom, Ovechkin, Chara, Carlson, and Lundqvist.
That's dirt. That's dirt. Yeah. They still wouldn't have won a cup.
They still wouldn't have won a cup.
Yeah. Corey Schneider signed a 1-year deal with the Islanders.
When I saw that, I thought of it as being like an expansion draft signing, but I know that you have to play a certain amount of games this season to qualify for the expansion. So maybe it's just a depth signing for them. Because who do they have? They have Semyon Varlamov. Oh, they lost Jan Berube. Or who was it? Yeah. No, Thomas Greiss was their backup goalie.
Yeah, Greiss is still there, right?
Greiss is still there.
They lost JF Berube, but do you know where JF Berube went?
Yeah.
The rain.
Back to the rain.
That's right. Depth signing for us.
Yeah.
We needed
AHL goalie. Yeah.
I like him in the rain.
He's an AHL season.
True.
That's another.
Not wrong.
John Marino signs a 6-year, $26.4 million deal with Pittsburgh, $4.4 million AAV. I think you had something to say about that.
He had a decent first season. I mean, it wasn't amazing. So I don't know what they're doing signing him to a 6-year deal.
That's exactly what I was thinking. I was thinking there's no need for it to be 6 years from 1 year. Like you had 1 year to evaluate, and you're giving him 6 years for that.
Oh, the 6 years start next year after this season.
So
because he's under contract this season. But it's like, bro, why the fuck?
But even then, it's still after 1 year. Yeah, it's after 1 year you're giving him 6.
I mean, it's true. He's gonna have to play next year.
I know they expect him to be the future, but
I mean, that's really the expectation. I mean, I know we have a couple of buddies that are Penguins fans, and they were really happy with the signing on Marino. I mean, we don't see him as often, but I mean, they don't really have anything else. So I mean, they got to start. We talked about it the last couple of years. I mean, the last year or so, we talked about how Pittsburgh needs to get younger, and I think this was something that they did to lock in some of a young, promising player that they want to build on.
That makes sense.
What were you going to say, Zach?
Oh, just that Trevor Zegras is coming to California tonight, and he is going to be fucking wood tender, bro. That kid's getting mad laid tonight, dude.
Oh, yeah.
That's all I was gonna say.
Well, after quarantine, right?
They don't have to quarantine. So
I read that they're already quarantined.
Yep, that's what I read. Part of the with the NHL and the NHLPA, they the prospects who are leaving the WJC to go join their teams do not have to quarantine.
It makes sense because they were in a bubble. So
as long as they're on a private chartered flight, if they're on a commercial flight, then they have to quarantine.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. So I would assume teams probably chartered their players home.
I know I'm going back to it, dude, but what a fucking Mark Messier move by fucking Trevor Zegras before tonight's game, with that little interview he gave about how Canada hasn't seen a team like them, the 5-on-5 and yada 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 whatever else he said. I went, that's impressive, man. This kid is impressive.
Bro, that was that. You know what, bro?
Look at that. Our number one fan.
Number one fan is here. What's up, Amelia?
Hey.
They said hi. What are you doing? I'll be back.
Okay.
Alrighty.
So, go ahead, Alex.
Yeah, that was a big dick play by Zegras. But it was a bigger dick play? Pierre-Luc Dubois leaking to the media that he wants out of Columbus and then signing a 2-year deal with $10 million of Columbus.
And apparently they still are. I don't know if they're going to push for a trade. I know he still would like out, but I did see an interview with I'm blanking on names tonight. Coach. It's Coach. Columbus.
John Tortorella.
Tortorella. Torts was doing an interview, and he basically came out and said, look, Columbus is going to handle the trade rumors surrounding PLD the same way they did with Panarin. Everything's going to be public, and they're just going to handle it in the public instead of keeping everything behind closed doors because it's already out there.
This is the first I've heard about this, but PLD wants out of Columbus?
Yeah.
That was the whole thing with when he signed the extension. The day before he signed the extension, there was a ton of reports that he wanted a fresh change of scenery.
Yeah.
And then he signed that 2-year bridge deal. But the speculation is he signed a 2-year bridge deal wanting to move out because no team is going to want to take him as an RFA. But at the end of these 2 years, he's still an RFA. So
they didn't want to take him as an RFA, but they also didn't want to pay big money either.
And this,
so if they sign for a big contract,
because Kekalainen now has time to get a quality return for a player like PLD.
Exactly, because now they have him under contract and are not worried about it. He has to report because he's under contract, but now they can work on a deal on moving him out. So that'll be interesting to see how this plays out. That's what Torts said that they will be publicly handling this trade just like they did with Panarin.
I don't know, man. After last season, I mean, granted, it was 12 less games. I don't know if that kid could be out here demanding trades like that. Like, you've had two all right seasons, and then your last season was kind of and he's out here saying he needs to change the scenery.
PLD is. I mean, the team also went. They weren't as good as they were. I mean, he doesn't have. It's almost like I don't want to say the Kopi situation, but I mean, he doesn't have much.
No, the parallel. I agree. The parallels are there for sure.
He doesn't have talent really surrounding him. So I mean, I can see it, and he's young. He's like you said, he's able to sign that bridge deal. Give some teams, like I said, now you don't have a big sticker attached to him either, so it's a little bit easier to move.
AKA, he wants to go to Montreal. That's pretty much what he's saying. He wants to go to Montreal.
Or LA.
Which would be sick for Montreal, to be honest with you.
Why would LA want him?
We don't need him.
No.
Yeah. We don't. As cool as it would be.
Fucking Alex over here playing franchise mode with force trades on.
I was gonna say
force trades, no cap.
I am running a what's it called? Fantasy mock draft in the background right now. Not gonna lie.
As Kings fans, we love to just any player that gets moved or signed, we love to just look at them and be like, how could the Kings trade for them? How could we get it?
This is true. How could we have pulled that off? I bet you Trevor Lewis in a second round could have got that.
It's so stupid.
I'm just gonna plug the NZHL fantasy hockey league real quick. If any of you guys let me take Alex Debrinket in the 7th round, you're idiots. Because I just did it.
Okay, great.
Nice.
Thanks for the heads up.
I don't think any of us are gonna let you fucking do that, you jamoke.
No, we're not.
Yeah, those mock
like 3 years ago.
No,
we might talk about Debrinket later.
Potentially. Didn't we have a guy in somebody in our fantasy league 2 seasons ago or 3 seasons ago that drafted Marion Gaborik with their 2nd round pick?
Yes.
Yeah, because we have some stupid ass Kings fans on our fantasy league. So.
That's true. This is true.
Matt Martin signed a 4-year deal, $1.5 million AAV to stay with the Islanders. The best 4th line continues.
The best 4th line in hockey returns.
Ooh.
Dylan Strome signed a 2-year, $6 million deal with Chicago.
Great for Chicago.
They need him.
Chicago.
Really good. Yeah. I mean,
he's talking about a 50-point player.
Well, and doesn't Patrick Kane's contract expire in 2 seasons?
It's a couple. Yeah. They got to start planning for it, really.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he's going to be in his 30s, bro. I mean,
yeah, he's going to start declining. I feel like you can almost sign him for less than what you signed him before.
He is. I agree he's going to start declining, but I also feel like he's still going to be an elite 25, 30 goal scorer.
Oh, yeah.
For years. And I think he'll re-sign with Chicago. I think he'll want to retire in Chicago.
No, I think he'll probably want to go to Buffalo.
I don't think so.
All right, guys, Kings fans, how do we get it? I'm just kidding.
That's your Kane.
All right.
JF
Speaking of trades,
and a 7th rounder, right?
Speaking of trades, Tampa Bay traded Cedric Paquette, Braden Coburn, and a 2nd rounder in 2022 to Ottawa for Anders Nilsson and Marion Gaborik's long-term injured reserve rights. Essentially, Ottawa utilized their, like we've been saying, been telling Rob Blake to do. He utilized his cap space for fucking as a weapon, and I mean, good on the Ottawa Senators for pulling that off. And then speaking of Ottawa Senators, Arizona traded Derek Stepan to Ottawa for a 2nd round pick in 2021.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, like, don't sleep on Ottawa. Don't think Ottawa is going to be a pushover this upcoming season.
Stanley Cup 2021. I'm just kidding.
Derek Stepan is definitely a declining center, but he's always had a really good 2-way game, and I feel like Colin White is kind of emerging as Ottawa's #1 center. But Derek Stepan could definitely play that flex for them. I mean, they know they're not going to compete this season. They just want somebody that's going to be able to mentor the forwards. And
I mean, Derek Stepan still has a hell of a shot, dude.
Oh yeah, well,
he's played well for Arizona the last couple of years.
Yeah, but I'm saying, he's not gonna. He's potentially gonna be the guy. But if he went to like a competing team, he wouldn't be the guy.
No,
you know what I mean?
no.
So this is a good trade, this is a great trade for both sides and all parties involved, I think.
You heard it. You heard it from our Buffalo insider. Patrick Kane's had legal drama in Buffalo since he was a teenager. I believe him.
Yeah, he said he's not going to go back.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, he does like to beat on cab drivers.
Yeah.
Yeah. But just to touch on what you said, I don't know, Zach, did you guys see that he actually did say publicly that the Kings have been having talks or we're going to have talks about having trades to throw that cap around?
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, publicly came out and said that he's been on the phone trying to make deals utilizing the Kings' open cap.
Yep.
Okay.
I'll take it.
We have a spot. We have a shot for that fourth spot, and for the playoffs this season.
So
utilizing cap space as a weapon. That's wild.
Moving on, we got our bounce back candidates for this coming season. Everybody chose.
How do we do this? Do we go one at a time?
Yeah,
we usually do it one at a time. Yeah.
All right.
I will preface this, like for people that are watching that haven't watched it before, we have some duplicates sometimes because we don't tell each other who our bounce back candidates are. So there are going to be times where we may have duplicates, which is fine.
Secretively.
Also, it's our show and we do what we want.
This is true. Yeah, it's our show. We do what we want. But yeah, so the idea, bounce back candidate. Exactly. So bounce back candidates, obviously it's pretty self-explanatory. We pick some players that have had either a down season or a down couple of seasons that we think are going to pick their production back up this upcoming season. Who wants to go first?
Let's start at the top and work our way. Let's go clockwise. So
are we all on the same? Clockwise? It's clockwise to you, yeah.
So my bounce back candidates are as follows. Number one.
No, your first one.
Oh, no, my first one.
Yeah.
Motherfucking Drew Dowdy.
Okay.
7 goals, 28 assists. He was a minus 16 on the season with 36 PIMs. He has a lot of pressure coming onto him this season. I think because a lot of analysts and stuff out there are starting to call him out, maybe on his childish behavior, and then also like his play. Granted, I will give him this. The team that has surrounded him for the past 2 to 3 years has been shit. Absolute dog shit. And you can't fault the guy for, one, becoming disengaged because of it, and then 2, not having the greatest numbers ever. I agree with Alex that he is probably the best transitional defenseman in the game. The guy can thread a needle from 300 feet out. He's just,
but he can't hit the net on a slap shot to save his life, even if he's 3 feet in front of it.
He
not wrong.
I think with youth being infused into the lineup, him getting a more veteran stay-at-home defenseman than Olli Mata, it's gonna invigorate him to travel more with the puck, maybe go wandering a little bit more because he has a reliable defense partner back there.
I feel like we even started seeing that towards the end of the season last season when the Kings started playing really well. I feel like that pairing finally clicked. Where
who was he with?
Mata.
He wasn't with Mata?
No, Mata came over in the offseason.
Oh, Mata came in the offseason. Was he with
Hutton? Ben Hutton?
Yeah.
Ben he was with Hutton. But Ben Hutton was also a stay-at-home defenseman, albeit not as talented.
He started to, once he started trusting Hutton more, he started to wander a bit. And when Drew Dowdy can wander, I think is when Drew Dowdy is at his best.
I'll say this: Drew Dowdy in that aspect, in the aspect of like team chemistry and how he plays depending on his line mates, really reminds me of like Kobe Bryant in like the peak Lakers era. Because you look at a lot of the guys that he played with for a long time, especially when new players came in, like when Pau Gasol replaced Shaq, or even when Dwight Howard came in. It took a while for those players to find consistent production because Kobe wasn't looking for them because he didn't trust them. And then his numbers would suffer, albeit what is suffering numbers for Kobe, because he would feel the need to drive every aspect of the game from end to end.
And Drew Dowdy has had to do that these past 2 to 3 seasons because he hasn't had, besides Jake Muzzin, he hasn't had a reliable defense department. Defense partner.
We brought the comparable.
I made you think last week, huh, Zach?
Mm-hmm.
We've drawn the comparable before that. Like Brett Burns would not have been as successful a defenseman if Mark-Edouard Vlasic wasn't his partner.
Nope.
Like, we talk
Very
about
true.
all the time what an elite defenseman he is. Drew Dowdy has, well, not never, but in his peak years has never had that. I mean,
he had fucking Rob Scuderi. What are you talking about?
He means his technically what would be his peak age years. The last few years he should have been in his peak, but
because even with Jake Muzzin, he had to worry about it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Muzzkill.
But Muzzkill was more of a two-way D-man. Rob Scuderi was a stay-at-home defenseman. That's what he was known for. That's why he was good. So I don't know, man. I think we're gonna see. I agree with that, man. That's a really good one. I like that one a lot.
If for those of you that want to hear a little bit more about Drew Dowdy and kind of the opposite of what people think about him, you guys can listen to last week when we had our King-centric episode when I enlightened all of these people.
Speaking of King-centric, there's a unicorn sighting coming tomorrow. My OG podcast, the boys that I've been doing podcasts with since I started podcasting, Wally, Robert, and Dave, we're going to be doing an episode of We're Los Angeles podcast tomorrow. You can catch us about 7:30, going over the season, over Kings prospects from WJC. Just a little shout out right there.
Awesome.
Nice.
Awesome, man.
Good time to do it.
I'm stoked to see it.
Who's going next?
You.
Me? Oh, all right.
Yeah, you.
All right. So my bounce back candidate, I have a feeling Scott might have the same since he brought it up. Alex Debrinket.
That is a duplicate. We got our first duplicate so far. I did have Alex Debrinket.
Okay, so 70 games played last season. He only had 18 goals, 27 assists, which is a .64 points per game, 8.7 shot percentage on 207 shots. So the year before that, his sophomore season, he had 41 goals, 35 assists. He was even. I mean, Chicago wasn't that great. .93 per game. He had an 18.6 shot percentage on 220 shots. So just about the same amount of shots, especially actually it was a little bit higher. I think it was he had a 2.96 shots per game that season, which was his highest of his three. This past season, he was shooting more per game, but they just weren't hitting the back of the net. So the thing that they say a lot of the times with these, guys that are just putting up goals, maybe they weren't shooting as much. They got a little timid with the puck. But his shot production, he was trying. They say shooters need to shoot, and he'll score if he keeps doing it.
He was also on a terrible Chicago team.
Yeah, I mean, he has been the last two seasons. But his highest point production was the season before. Exactly. Last season, this was something I actually found. So there was some research done. He actually picked it up on his own. He noticed that he was shooting from much further away from the net than he was the previous two seasons. So since you're able to, when you notice a problem that you're having, he's not getting down into the dirty areas. He's not getting in front of the net. He was just throwing shots from, the point, the dot, whatever, just higher in the slot. He wasn't getting down where he was getting those goals, the previous two seasons, which lead to a higher shot percentage.
And I think it was actually he was even worse than his rookie season, right?
Yeah,
yes.
I'm pretty sure on that.
Rookie season was 15.5% shots.
It was 15.5. Oh yeah, and then he had 52 points in 82 games played. I mean, granted, that's it was less games played last season, but still less point production than your rookie season. So.
Yeah. I mean, and the reason I think it's looking up, he's
good point, Matt. Honestly.
Yeah. I mean, that's true also. That will also factor in, but I think that also factors into the point where if you start shooting from further, you get away from things that you'd done the first two seasons because you think that because you're just putting everything in the back of the net, you can do it from further out. If you get away from what's been working and people are focusing on you with a weaker team, I think that all contributes together.
That's a recipe for disaster.
Exactly.
100%.
So he contributed in other ways last season. He just seemed to be snake bitten. As I said, I mean, he was putting about the same amount of shots on net, just not going. And he's locked into the top 6. So I think he's going to turn it around, especially if he keeps that up.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. That's why I think he was kind of one of the easier bounce backs. No, honestly, I think you covered everything well. That's why he's one of the easier bounce back picks, just because you know that he's going to get the time, and the way that he's actually like analyzing his game so well, you know that he's going to be able to recover. So,
is that your number one, Scott?
I mean, I can go with a different one for my number one.
Was he your number one?
No, he was going to be my number 3, but
I don't rank mine.
Yeah. So my next one, since I'll just go, or do you guys want to do?
That way we have the same one, we'll just go.
True.
And then,
go ahead, Alex.
Mine's another relatively easy one, just based off the caliber of player he is and the team that he plays with and the line that he plays on. That's going to be Gabriel Landeskog. So Landeskog last season put up 21 points and 23 assists, which with a -2 rating, which is kind of dismal, and only 15 points on the power play, which is kind of dismal for a player of Gabriel Landeskog's caliber. But I feel like he was getting moved around a lot last season, and he didn't really click in like permanently into that top pairing or into that top line until maybe about 60 games in. They were flexing Burakovsky in and out. They were flexing whatever other kick around forwards they could in and out. I think now we're going to see a solidification of the prototypical playmaker, sniper, power forward in Landeskog, and Landeskog will easily get back to that 60-70 point mark that we're used to seeing out of him with those 30 goals and the whole probably a way higher power play point percentage.
I like it.
I agree. I for sure like that too. And Landeskog is one of my favorite players. So
mine too.
I like Landeskog.
Love it.
My number 2. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Alex.
I actually might have to jam here in the middle in a little bit. So
okay.
If you guys don't mind, can I just rifle through my 2 real quick and then I'll.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. So my number 2 is going to be Clayton Keller. Clayton Keller had kind of a down season last year, especially with Taylor Hall kind of soaking up the spotlight.
Yeah, I really like that one too.
Clayton Keller is the blue chip prospect for Arizona. I mean, last season he teed up 17 goals and 27 assists, but he only really started getting hot towards the end of the season. I think we see him easily bounce back to that 50-60 point mark. I really don't see with the rate his progression has been going at, and he's only 22 years old. I don't see how that doesn't happen.
I like it.
Yeah, I agree.
And then just really quickly, my last one, where I have it here. Hold on, let me get my notes. Sorry about that. Okay, yeah, my last one. Matt Barzel. We already talked about it. Matt Barzel had a really down West season on par with PLD. I feel like him and PLD are just trading production every season. But I feel like even though the Islanders aren't making too many radical changes over the last couple of years, we see the team as a whole just getting stronger and stronger and stronger. And now Matt Barzal is coming into his mid-20s, which should obviously, preferably be his most productive years. He's now going to be skating with Eberle and Anders Lee full time, and he's number 1 on the power play.
Which is insane. Yeah.
I mean, the season that we saw him have just 2 seasons ago was absolutely phenomenal. That's a performance. So it's not a far stretch to think that he doesn't at least match his production from last season. I mean, even last season he had 41 assists, but he only had 19 goals.
Yeah, that was interesting to see because he put up well more than that the year before, right?
Well more than that.
Yeah,
so that'll be it for me for tonight, guys. Sorry I have to dip out a little early, but
all good.
All good. Yeah.
Enjoy it. We'll
see you later.
Have a good
Later,
night.
Alex.
All right,
Zach. You want to go next? You get your second one here? Yeah. Okay. Helping the daughter out. I like it.
Oh, she's got me scared, bro. I thought she broke her charger off in her iPad. Jesus Christ. I was about to get real heated. My number 2 bounce back candidate of the season is going to be Kyle Turris. He had 9 goals, 22 assists, and believe it was 82 games, -9, 22 penalty minutes. He's going to change the scenery. He's now in Edmonton, and I think he's probably going to be centering their second line. Either probably 2 or 3 C flex. I think the change of scenery along with better line mates is just going to prove more beneficial for Kyle Turris. I don't expect the goal production to go up drastically. I'm not going to sit here and say that I expect him to score 25 goals. Can he score 15 to 20? Yeah. Can he put up more assists? Hell yeah, especially with that team. So, I think that he's going to have a better season this upcoming season.
I like it.
Nope.
My second one actually was Clayton Keller's teammate last season. And another easy one actually is Taylor Hall.
I like it though.
We talked about how disappointing of a season he had as far as, he went to an Arizona team that was looking up. They made the deal because it looked like they were going to be a team that was going to make a move and at least go reasonably deep into the playoffs. They were at least that was their focus. Didn't really pan out. No. Taylor Hall in 65 games last season, 16 goals, 36 assists, -14, 0.8 points per game, a 6.9 shot percentage. And that's on 232 shots. So he was peppering the net. Nothing was going.
Oh yeah.
Missed games again due to injury. I mean, it was not the season anybody was expecting after he got traded from New Jersey. They thought he was going to have that production, bring it over to Arizona and make them a team that was going to be dangerous. It just didn't pan out.
Yeah.
I just want to touch on this real quick. I mean,
yeah,
I totally say the same thing. I think that Edmonton is a place where people go to die. But I think as far as like a individual player, I think that Kyle Turris can have a better year than he had this previous year in Nashville.
Oh yeah,
just because I believe he's going to be playing with better line mates, and then also I think that the systems will fit him a lot better, or not fit him a lot better, but he'll be getting a lot more offensive opportunity.
And I mean, Kyle Turris was doing really well in Ottawa, and so it was, in my opinion, just kind of like a Nashville Predators system that he just simply didn't fit in. Like it just didn't work out. So
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
So Taylor Hall, obviously he's only 2 years removed from winning the Hart Trophy, where he had 39 goals, 54 assists, which is 93 points, a 14% shot percentage on 278 shots. So he does pepper the net. Another situation kind of with Debrinket, putting tons of shots on, nothing was going. I do think Arizona, just as a whole, we talked about it. We thought maybe they were going to be a little bit more dangerous than they were. It didn't pan out, especially when they came back from the break. But I still think, especially how much we've been talking about Buffalo making moves in the right direction for a second straight offseason. I think they got some really good players. He's obviously going to be playing with like Eichel. They have a young core. The problem is he going to stay healthy? And that's been his issue. His issue is the last time he's been healthy and played a majority of the games was his Hart Trophy season. The other thing that's really fueling this for me is the fact is he took that 1 year, $8 million deal. So he's basically, I mean, I know it's a high AAV, but he's gambling on himself. He's either going to have a really, really good year and next season sign that big deal we thought maybe he was going to be looking for or get. Or he's not going to have a good season and somebody's going to sign him. I mean, probably more than he's worth, but if he has a dismal season or gets hurt again, he's not going to get the money that he's going to be expecting.
I think he's fucked, actually. And the reason being is we're probably going to have another flat cap season after this upcoming season.
We might. I mean, we might as far as cap goes, but I think it's going to give him a better situation if he plays well. I mean, that really is true. Comes down to the.
But again, I don't think a lot of people are going to have a lot of money though.
Even if he has to do it again, though, he could always, sign a shorter deal to sign with a team that maybe he wants to go to after this. But I just think this is the opposite. It's not a recipe for disaster. What Debrinket was doing with the shots. This is a recipe for a good situation with him. I believe. I think Buffalo's up and coming, and they were last season. It didn't pan out how we thought it would, but I do think again this offseason they made the right moves, and I think he's going to a good situation.
Good choice,
Scott.
Like it. My second choice is going to be Owen Sound's own Jordan Binnington. Oh. Just because, I mean, honestly, that entire St. Louis Blues team just didn't play as expected. Being defending Stanley Cup champions, all of them were playing off. But I think Jordan Binnington especially was playing just completely off from his season before.
He definitely had a sophomore slump.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking. It's we talk about all the time how there's always that sophomore slump, especially I think Nathan McKinnon was probably one of the worst involved in that, right?
Yeah.
Daniel, Nathan McKinnon expert, where he had a bad sophomore season and then he bounced back.
Oh yeah, I mean he bounced back big, but that's what I chalked it up to is a sophomore slump. It happens. Most people have it.
And then, you talk about the amazing playoff performance that Jordan Binnington had. Of course, he did not have the same type of performance. Last season, the season before last season, he was rocking a .927 save percentage with a 1.89 goals against average. Last season, though, .912, which isn't bad, but it's definitely not up to par. And then the 2.56 goals against average was way worse than his 1.89. We were talking about a Vezina candidate potentially with Binnington, even though he didn't. I mean, if he had played more games, for sure, I think he would have been the Vezina winner. And then he completely dropped off. But we talked about it. Sophomore slump. I think he bounces back. I think that entire St. Louis team bounces back, honestly, especially with the change in division. Because they're in the West, aren't they?
Yep, they are.
I think it gets much easier for St. Louis.
That's a lot of that was actually, before we move on to your third one, Zach, that was something that was really fun. I know I told you when you hit me up earlier, you didn't know at first who your bounce back candidates were going to be. And I was like, dude, it's fun trying to figure this out right now, especially with the, the movement of these, the divisions. We got new divisions, new teams in them. And you have to think about that because they're only playing their division this season. So
I think the only division that really stayed the same was the East. That was the only one that, for the most part, besides Canadian teams, obviously. Yeah, like that.
I feel like they added
much stayed the same.
And the teams that were added to the East, I don't think were any. That's going to be an absolute bloodbath of a division.
Well, they also took out one of the better teams from the East as well. So
yeah, they did.
Oh, true. Yeah.
Yeah, but go ahead, Zach. You can throw your third in there.
Oh, my third is going to be Matt Duchene. Matt Duchene, 13 goals, 29 assists in 82 games last season, -4, 2 penalty minutes. So he's not taking a ton of penalty minutes, but I think the biggest drawback for him last season was playing in a decrepit system that Peter Laviolette was enforcing upon them. It's a whole Kyle Turris situation, right? Where I just don't think the system benefited him a whole lot. Matt Duchene is a dynamic player. I mean, look what he was doing with Columbus before he went to Nashville. He was, I think it was 20 something goals or something like that. I can't remember off the top of my head. But he went to Nashville and he kind of had a more down season. So I think with the coaching change with John Hines, maybe a philosophical change that's going on down there in Nashville, I think that might benefit him a lot. We can see him. I don't want to say he's going to sit here and put up 25, 30 goals. Can he put up 25? Sure. But realistically, it's probably somewhere in the 20 to 25, maybe with maybe rocking 40 assists or so. I think that's a reasonable number for him, going from 13 goals, 29 assists. So I think he'll have a better season this upcoming season under a new head coach in Nashville.
I like it.
I do like Duchene. I would have to agree. I mean, I thought Duchene going to Nashville was going to be. I thought
Lights
it was going to be. Yeah, I thought it was going to be amazing. To be honest with you, and I just don't think it was. And another thing to piggyback on your the points you're making from this past season. I mean, it's the second straight year he's going and learning a new system. I mean, it's as a professional athlete. Sometimes you say, oh, does it matter? Does it matter? But I think it does, especially a new situation, a new role. I mean, where are you going to be at? I think that all factors in, especially, we talk about it a lot in football because they just fire the coach when things don't go their way. And it's like, you talk about a quarterback going with 7 different coaches in 7 years. And it's like, what the fuck do you want me to do? Different styles.
What's wrong? But it's also what's wrong with that quarterback at that time too, though.
Yeah.
Seven coaches in 7 years is pretty bad. But I mean, we've talked about it before that we've all felt that like something was toxic down there in Nashville, and I just feel like bringing in fresh blood with John Hines, I think it's just gonna breathe a breath of fresh air back into Nashville. I think they're going to be a little bit scarier this upcoming season.
I like it. I really like it.
And when we were talking about the bounce back ideas, like, you're like, oh, well, you said something about like stats or whatever, right? Like based on like blah, blah, blah. And he said, oh, well, I'm kind of going just based off of feel because of like circumstantial evidence, right? So like,
oh, that's what it is too. Yeah.
So that's all it's been for me. Like with Kyle Turris, to change the scenery, John Hines coming to Nashville is going to be good for Matt Duchene, a better team for Drew Dowdy. I just think those circumstances are just going to lead to better play from all three.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I agree. I mean, and that's the thing I made sure I followed up with too. It's not that you had to have stats. It's just something that I like to point to when I'm trying to give my reasoning for it, but it's not always true. It's like I told you, I actually almost picked Drew Dowdy just purely for that reason, but I didn't have, for me, I wanted to point to some stats, but it's not necessary, especially with Drew Dowdy. I 100% agree with you. I mean, I talked about it last week, just on the Kings thing, about how I think he's going to have rediscover what he had and kind of shut some people up after doubting him for so long.
Yeah, I think so too. The haters are going to hate.
It's true. My third one, I don't want to say I punted on this one because I actually forgot about him. Like I said, I almost chose Drew Dowdy as well, but then I remembered the conversation we had about Braden Holtby going to Vancouver.
Ooh, okay.
And I mean, not even just last season. I mean, the last year and a half, it seems like it's just, it's tapered off a little bit. His especially last season. So last season, just before I get to the stats, last season was the first season of his career that he had a goals against average above 3 and a save percentage above 900 or below 900. And it was a 3.11 goals against average. Oh, good night, Amelia.
Good night.
All right, let's go put you to bed.
3.11 goals against average and 897 save percentage. I mean, he was 25, 14, and 6. I mean, that has to do with Washington scoring goals. I mean, it's not the best record, but at the same time, the record looks okay because you're playing Washington Capitals. But he almost started looking like the comparable last season for me was what we always talk about, Corey Crawford, getting carried by the offense. And he just did not look very good in net. He wasn't to the level of, Corey Crawford and how much, we talk about his level of play. Yeah. But it was really looking that way. And then you look at the defense that Washington has. I mean, they had John Carlson, but they don't really have a stout defensive core. They were a little off this past season. And he goes to a situation where he's playing with a younger group of guys that is on the rise. This team is on the rise. We talked about them. They,
hell yeah,
playoffs.
They're going to be one of the better teams in the league for sure.
They're going to be one of the better teams this season. Their defensive core is, I mean, it's one or towards the top 10 in the league, I would say, if not higher than that. And I think he's going into a really, really great situation. he's got the starting spots, but at the same time, he can't get too comfortable because Thatcher Demko has shown he's ready whenever they're ready to give him the job. He's ready for it. So he's going to, at least as the backup, is going to make sure that Holtby is on his game, or you're only on a 2-year deal. You're going to be, left
That's
dead.
true. Yeah, exactly. That's why I feel like, I don't know. I would start to think that maybe it's just his decline is coming in because he is getting older. I think, how old is he now? He's I want to say 34.
I think he's declining, but what I'm saying is the situation he's going to, I think he's going to just have a much better
31
season next year. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Old. But as a goalie too, I think he still has the ability. And if you go to a situation where you have the defense in front of you, I think he can prolong his career and get back to the form at least that he had a couple of seasons ago.
Oh, for sure.
About Holtby?
Yeah. And I'm one of those people that strongly thinks that a goaltender's, I feel like everyone does, where a goaltender's skill isn't almost entirely based off of the team that's around them. And that's why we've seen goalies who have no business being an elite goaltender, like Martin Jones, for example, having the years that they have. And I feel like it's just because of the team that is around them is so good that it just elevates a goaltender's play, but then also it decreases that fatigue factor that goaltenders have to deal with throughout the year. Because goalies are playing, they're playing probably the hardest out of any player. Yeah, exactly. They don't get shifts, and I'd say that they're probably the most athletic players in hockey.
Yeah.
And so, you're talking about a huge fatigue factor that comes down the line, and there are goaltenders that are able to push through that, but sometimes you just see that decline start to happen. And I don't know. I'm so indifferent about Braden Holtby just because I think that he could definitely decline. But at the same time, like you said, if you put that proper team in front of him, he might be able to shine. Just because, I thought he was older. He's honestly, 31's not bad.
Yeah, especially for a goaltender. We see a lot of goalies now, especially going into their late 30s and
exactly,
well, or at least serviceable. So that's the thing. I get it too. I was kind of in the same situation with Holtby. I didn't really, I would say, probably see put as much value into him even before when he was playing insane. I just thought it was one of those situations like Corey Crawford just getting carried. But he did have some really, really good years. And you look back, like I said, he's never had a save percentage under 900 and goals against average over 3.
True.
And it's once. And now you're going to a much better situation where you're still going to be pushed by a young goaltender that is ready to take your spot if you're not on your game.
Yeah.
So
I like
your third. Yeah.
My third, obviously closeted Philly fan, love the Flyers. So of course I have to go with Claude Giroux.
I like it.
Honestly,
he was going to be one of mine, dude.
Yeah. His stats last season just weren't good. I think he's only ever had 2 worse seasons just from the stats that I'm looking at. He had 21 goals and 32 assists for 53 points. It didn't make sense to me. It was definitely one of those off years, which again, looking at his stats, he shows a pattern of having one off year and then just ramping it up completely the next year. So his last 50+ point season, or 50 to 60, was a 58-point season in 2016, 2017. He went on that next season to get 102 points, which I think he was second for the Art Ross, right?
That sounds right. And just to jump in before you keep going, and then you look not only that at the Philly team he was on. This was exactly that you came back. We legitimately thought that they were going to end up in the Stanley Cup. They were just on a complete roll. Everything, they were on all cylinders, and you still look at the fact that we were like, where's Claude Giroux? What, is he going to do something?
Yeah, he just wasn't the top player. Yeah,
he wasn't the top player, and they have a good team.
And That's why I feel like he's going to be able to bounce back, especially if you put him on the same line as Sean Couturier and Travis Konechny. You put him on that line, you have Konechny play in that goal-scoring role, he's going to flourish, especially if Ivan Provorov gets better on a defensive pairing. You put that in the power play, it's going to be so good, and hopefully Giroux will be able to at least put up some assists. I don't know if he increases his goals. He's never scored more than like 25 to 30 goals in a season, but those assist numbers should skyrocket this season, hopefully.
I would think so.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
I think it's a great
very
candidate.
good one. Mm-hmm. I agree.
Also one of my favorite players, so yeah, I'm biased.
So those are our bounce back candidates, players wise. Obviously, there's many people that could be up here. To be honest with you, I actually had a struggle with this season for some reason. I was telling Zach, I think it's mainly because it was just so long ago. I can't even remember. Like, was they struggling? Were they on a hot streak after? Like, were they picking things back up? But those are the guys we think are going to right the ship, come out, blow it up this season, or certain situations just take advantage of the change of scenery and pick up to that'll be much more serviceable than what they had last season. Go ahead.
Honorable
Scott.
mention, because I feel like all of us would agree on this. Honorable mention, Sergei Bobrovsky.
Oh yeah,
because he had such a shit season last year.
I was not expecting that. I thought Florida again for the second straight season. We've all picked Florida to be like this team that was expected to make a deep run in the playoffs again, and they just got Bobrovsky, who had come off another good year.
And I think someone in the chat also pointed that out.
It was G. He's a Florida fan. Yeah. The thing
Florida's
is,
defense is better just by losing Matheson.
He hates Mike Matheson.
Hold on, I gotta make a point about the Team US during their picture, like with the trophy. They brought out a trash can with the Canada logo on it.
You're lying.
I fucking swear to God. Do you want to see?
That's
Trash.
Show it. Oof. Damn.
All right.
They will be talking about that for a long ass time though, about like how unsportsmanlike that is.
Dude, we need to get somebody to Photoshop that, and we'll put Manship's takes on the trash can.
That'd be best.
I'll get Ashley to do.
18-year-old doesn't score a goal in the game that nobody else did. He's a bust. Oh wait, hold on. Let me do it with audio.
Damn.
For those that are not watching the video, because this one will go up on SoundCloud because we got good quality, good content this week. So
you guys ready?
There it is.
Shit, where's the play button?
There it is. It's playing. It's got a buffer.
Why you buffer?
That's crazy.
That's funny.
All right.
Oh, there it is.
There it is.
Play it like that. You can see it. Oh, there it goes. Oh, they rolled it out there for the picture.
Wow.
Sick ass foos right there, dude.
Yes, foos.
God damn.
Throwing Canada right in the trash.
Just a bunch of sick ass foos right there.
We're back to friends with Canada.
Yep.
Just like that. But yeah, so now we finished our bounce back candidates. The next thing we had on tap tonight, which is the last thing aside from beer, wanted to do some preseason predictions. Pick our division winners, who's going to be in the Stanley Cup, and then our trophy winners. We can do by division. You guys want to go division? Each of us.
Yeah, I think
who's
so.
going to 4 for each division.
Yep.
All right, cool. So we'll go the North Scotiabank division first.
I'm picking Toronto. I mean, that division is a bit weak, so Toronto I think is just going to run away with it.
No, go. You can do your 4 that are going to make it.
The West, the Honda division. I picked Colorado.
No, the 4 that are going to make the playoffs.
4 that are going to be in.
Oh,
okay.
4 for
There is
each.
wild cards.
Yeah,
I
no
didn't even
wild
realize,
card.
to be honest.
No wild
It's
cards.
just top 4.
So I got
Top 4.
So I got Toronto, Vancouver, Winnipeg, and Edmonton. I mean, that's the only ones that really could fucking make it out of the North. Yep.
I think I got Toronto winning it. No. Sorry, I have Vancouver winning it.
Ooh.
I think I have Vancouver, Toronto, Montreal, and Calgary.
Scrap Winnipeg. I'm taking Montreal. Yep.
Okay.
I didn't know we were doing 1 through 4. My bad.
Yeah, no, you're good. I didn't know if it was because it's just weird. I was trying to figure out the whole playoff situation. I was like, wait, where are the wild cards? Oh, it's just top 4 from each. So, mine, I also have Vancouver winning that division. Toronto, Calgary, and Winnipeg. I think exactly what you said. It's a weak division. I think there's only 3 good goalies in this division, and all of them can score. So I think Calgary can, even though their goalie situation sucks, I think they're going to have a bounce back as a team, honestly, with points.
Like it.
Yeah. And Winnipeg is one of the teams with a good goalie, so I got them in.
All right. West. Our favorite division.
The Han division is what I said.
No, I'm not calling it that. It's the West Division.
So in first place, I got Colorado. Then I'm going to take, and these 4 are in any order. It's probably going to go Colorado, St. Louis, and then I'm going to take, I forgot who else is in the division.
Vegas?
Oh, Vegas. And then squeaking in at number 4, it's going to be the fucking Los Angeles Kings.
No shot. I'm sorry. I don't think it happens. I mean, I know it's going to be a close run, but I think instead, I agree with you completely, except instead of the Kings, I think Arizona.
All right. So
what is that face you're making?
I'm on. Zach and I have the same. I have Colorado winning that division. I got Vegas, St. Louis, and I also have LA in the playoffs because Arizona, the only other one. So Arizona would have been it if they kept the team together. They got rid of everybody.
Yeah, but no.
Stepan, OEL's not happy. He was looking to get traded.
That's very true.
I
have full confidence.
I have, nobody else. I don't see. I mean, it's a weird season, but I just think LA is going to get the 4th seed. I don't think they're going to squeak in.
I knew it's going to be close.
They're going to dominantly get the 4th seed. Zach, Central Discover Division.
Okay, so that one, I'm going Carolina taking it.
Okay,
and then we're gonna have Tampa, Nashville, and Dallas.
I am so surprised, honestly, because I actually agree that I didn't think anyone else was going to pick it, but I think Carolina also beats out Tampa.
Oh,
I think they win the division.
They have no Kucherov. Who knows if Stamkos is going to be healthy? I mean, Tampa might even miss the fucking playoffs, bro.
No, I don't think so. No, they have a stacked team. Even without those players, I think they have a chance. But yeah, I think it's Carolina, Tampa, Nashville, and I'll say, honestly, no, not Nashville. I will say Columbus and Dallas.
All right, we all got different ones. I like it.
It's a toss-up for like Nashville, Columbus, and Florida for me.
This is honestly this is an interesting division. I really like looking at it completely.
It's all over the place. It's all over the fucking
place. Apparently, I'm in the minority here. I still think, like you said, Scott, Tampa's just
their stack team.
I mean, Braden Point's gonna slot in. I mean, okay, but Braden Point, come on.
But then who do they have outside of that?
I mean, they have Cirelli. They got Paquette. Come on, or no, they don't have Paquette anymore. They traded him.
But yeah, you're right.
Who do they have outside of Braden Point, bro?
They don't need anybody outside of Braden Point.
Exactly. Yeah, that's gonna be your guys' argument, huh? When I said Tampa might even miss the playoffs. Well, they're stacked. With who?
They have. Come on, they have a good defensive core. They got Vasilevsky.
They've still got to put up goals.
They've got players. Dude, they'll figure it out.
So now they're gonna be a one-line team, bro, and they're just gonna get focused. That line's gonna get focused.
They have cap space from Kucherov. Remember that.
Oh, what are they gonna? Oh, cap space wins the championships, guys.
But anyways, I still think that they're still the team to beat until I see something otherwise. I'm leaving them there. Dallas, I also think just as dominant. Then I have Florida and Carolina also making it. I have Florida. I believe in them again.
I don't. I no longer. I lost faith.
Dude, you stack up Tampa against Carolina, against Dallas, against Florida, against Nashville. They just don't have the depth to beat them.
I think Dallas, even though they made the Stanley Cup Finals, is such a sleeper in that division because like no one expects it. I don't know why. Like no one's really talking about Dallas Like everyone has Dallas making it out of the playoffs just because of how that division is lined up. But at the same time, they're such a good team.
Yeah, no,
they could win it.
They could. Yeah. Honestly, I think it's a toss-up. I think Dallas could win that division. And Florida and Carolina, I don't have in any particular order. I just think Florida makes the playoffs. I think Carolina makes the playoffs. And then we have the East Mass Mutual Division. This is going to be an absolute bloodbath, by the way.
Oh,
this division.
This is insane.
Yeah. So I got Philadelphia taking the division. And then we're going to go Boston, New York Rangers, and then for my fourth pick, we're going to do the Washington Capitals.
You're going to leave the Islanders out of the playoffs?
Yes.
Okay.
Interesting.
What did they do to get better, bro?
Yeah, but I mean, they're still a good team. Yeah, they're still an amazing
What did they do to get worse, though?
They aged. That's what made them better.
They lost Derek Brassard. That was their 2C, bro.
I don't know.
Who slots in behind him? Who slots in behind Barzal?
Yeah. I still think they make the playoffs at least.
All you foos fucking coming in here unprepared, dog. Coming in here unprepared.
I still think they make the playoffs. Over the Rangers, I think they make the playoffs. I think it's going to go Philly. No, you know what? Every time I say Philly wins, they end up doing the worst.
Change it just for that, you fucker.
No, I'm changing that. I don't, as a closeted Philly fan, I can't do it.
All right.
I think Boston wins, then Philly, then the Islanders, then Washington. But it's like a toss-up between Washington and Buffalo for me. But I think I'm going to go Washington.
Oh, shit. I forgot about Buffalo.
Yeah, you did. So I have Philly.
You can swap out the New York Rangers with the Buffalo Sabres.
But not the Islanders.
No, not the Islanders. Because, again, they haven't done anything to get better. If anything, they regressed.
So, even better. I've got Philly also winning it. Boston, still there. I have Buffalo, and I also have the Islanders.
There you go.
No Washington, no Pittsburgh, no Rangers, none of them.
By the way, I love that Real G said that if Spencer Knight plays, Florida makes it.
I think
Spencer Knight's not going to play.
Dude, Spencer Knight, throw him in there, bro. Watch him get Swiss cheese. That's going to do great for his development.
Yeah, I don't think they should. I think Bobrovsky's going to be.
Thank you.
Gas up, Zach.
Thank you, random Facebook user.
Hold on, let's see.
You're absolutely right.
Let's see which random Facebook user gassed him up for no reason.
No reason. That is a hot take, bro. They didn't do anything to get better.
You didn't do anything to get better.
I never claimed to have done it. What?
You're a trash can. Just like they rolled out.
Well, apparently, according to somebody, that's not a trash can.
Oh, it's Dave. Okay.
Of course it's Dave.
Oh,
it's
gas
me,
him up.
Dave.
He fucked you up.
We stand up 69 every chance we get, bro. All right.
Does he stand though? I'll take the Alex joke.
Yeah,
he stands up. You have to get on your knees.
No, I get upside down. He holds me upside down.
Oh, okay. I feel that.
Stand up. All right. So Stanley Cup Finals. Who do you have in the final? You don't have to say who wins because we don't know how it's going yet. But who do you have in the final?
I got the Los Angeles Kings and the Philadelphia Flyers. I'm just playing. I'm just playing. No, I got Colorado versus Philadelphia.
I also have Colorado versus Philadelphia.
I'm going to go for a kicker on the West. Or not the West, but I have a kicker. I'm going to go Montreal and Philly.
Is that how they're going to line it up?
So I had to do this multiple times in my head. So what they're doing is for the
how
playoff,
are they lining it up? Mm-hmm.
Each division, it's intra-division for the first 2 rounds. So each division plays 1 versus 4. Then they reseed for the 4 teams that come out of it. So whoever comes out of the West, the North, the West, the Central, and the East, they get seeded 1 through 4 based on points.
Oh, okay.
So then 1 plays 4 in the final, 2 versus 3 in the other final.
So it wipes out conference. There's not going to be a conference final. It'll be a Stanley Cup semifinal. Yeah.
Oh shit! So we might end up with like a fucking
you can literally have Colorado.
It might be a fucking all East.
All West,
you know what?
All Canada.
You know what? Philly versus Boston.
That would be fucking exciting.
What do you mean you can't have that?
You wouldn't be able to have that because they're
in the same division.
Yeah. 1 person comes out of each division, and then the divisions get reseeded.
Oh, okay, gotcha. All
but
right,
instead of East versus West,
two teams come out of each division, right?
Correct.
Yeah, 2 teams come out of, and then there's 4, and then they get reseeded, and then the top 4 out of there get seeded 1 through 4. 1 plays 4, 2 plays 3.
No. They don't reseed twice. They don't reseed twice.
We need Bettman on the show.
Yeah. So I'll just use 1 division as an example. So let's just use the North. Vancouver
division. A division can't have an interdivision.
So yeah, it won't be an interconference.
Eastern Conference.
Correct.
Yeah, without a doubt, 100%.
Yeah. So you can literally have Tampa Bay versus Philly or Dallas versus Philly, Boston. Yeah, the 2 divisions. So you could have 2 East teams play each other that are normally in the East.
Or 2 West teams.
Yes, I know. I'm just saying you guys said East most recently.
Carolina versus Philly.
Alter anything for you guys? Does that alter your Stanley Cup final?
It's so hard now.
I know. You're telling me. I still have Colorado Philly. I still have Colorado Philly too.
Those are the 2 best teams in the league this upcoming season.
I think Philly versus Carolina. Potentially Colorado versus Philly. Like that Colorado versus Philly makes the most sense, but I don't like what makes the most sense. Yeah. Philly versus Carolina. I'll go with that.
We get it, bro. You have a Hydro Flask.
I know. I'm thirsty. Sorry. Shit.
Drink out of a bottle like all the rest of us. Fucking elitist scum.
Auto #1 pick, Taylor Hall.
Buffalo's got the #1 pick.
Hey.
They trading for it? All right. So the last thing we got here, trophy winners.
So you want to go through all of them?
That's fucking yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so
that's gonna be a toughie, honestly, with the season.
Huh?
You saw the ones we cover, right? I sent it.
Yeah. Okay. I got my list.
Yeah, you want to read your? Yeah, you want to, or do you want to go President's Hart Selkie? You want to do?
No, we could just do.
All right,
all of our lists. Yeah. Right, Presidents, I got Colorado. Hart Trophy, I got Nathan McKinnon. The Selkie Trophy, I got Sean Couturier. Vezina, I got Vasilevsky. Norris, Drew fucking Dowdy. Calder, this was tough because I don't know which rookies are fucking playing this upcoming season because there's no training camp. But I'm gonna go fucking Samuel Fagemo just because if he plays, the kid could be electric. Art Ross, I got Leon Draisaitl, Rocket Richard, Austin fucking Matthews.
Ooh,
I like it. All right, I'll go next.
Division.
All right, so I also have President's Trophy winner, Colorado Avalanche. Hart Trophy winner, Nathan McKinnon. Selkie, I have Kopitar because they're going to
good choice.
Good choice. Vezina, I got Carter Hart.
Oh, okay.
Norris, Cale Makar.
Oh.
Calder, Denisenko from Florida.
Oh, shit. Okay.
I think he's going to get time. G, you can comment on that because I don't know how much time. I just thought he was a good pick. Art Ross, I have Nathan McKinnon. and Rocket Richard. I also, for the same exact reason as you, no goalies in that division. I also picked Austin Matthews. Remember, we did not share these with each other.
We did it. But going back to the Calder, you probably did you probably went a step further than what I did. You probably Googled what rookies are coming into the league this season. I want to pick that one. That one sounds good.
I did. I looked it up. I kind of looked at the Calder odds, and I saw some of the normal names. I wasn't going Lafreniere. I mean, that's an easy cop out. It's not out of the realm of possibilities. But I wanted to pick somebody else.
I was gonna say I honestly was gonna go with Lafreniere, but okay, I guess I won't.
You can go with Lafreniere.
No, actually, I do have a choice. Yeah.
It's still
we'll see. We'll see. I'll decide as I'm going down the line.
All right.
Now that I'm looking at it. Yeah. So President's Trophy, Colorado Avalanche, dude. It's such an easy division for them. So
what are you
easy.
talking about? You got the fucking Juggernaut Kings in that division, bro.
Oh yeah, okay.
I said I picked Denisenko to win the Calder. That's what I was asking about. I don't know how much time he's gonna get.
Oh, dude, Alex Turcotte's got plus 1,400 odds, dude.
I know. I almost picked Turcotte, but I didn't want to just be a homer.
I don't know if he's
All
going
right.
to play or not. That's the thing.
Yeah, I didn't know how
Hart
much he's gonna-
Trophy, Claude Giroux.
President's Trophy first.
Ooh.
Claude Giroux with the Hart Trophy.
All right.
Selke, I'm gonna agree with you. I'm gonna go Sean Couturier, just because, like I said, I think that line pops off.
Philly run.
Huh?
President's
Philly
Trophy.
homer?
Oh, you already said Colorado.
Yeah, I already said Colorado. Yeah.
Okay, that my fault.
Selke, I'll say Patrice Bergeron. It's a Patrice Bergeron award.
I thought you just said Couturier.
Wait, did I? Oh yeah. Sorry. Selke Couturier. I'm stupid.
Vezina.
Vezna's gonna be a tough one. I want to say Vasilevsky, just because he's gonna have to fucking stand on his head for Tampa, and it's a good defense. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Vasilevsky. I think Vazzy wins it again. Norris, Cale Makar, because I love him. Calder. All right, this was the tough one. You know what? I'll go with Alex Turcotte just for a fun one. We'll just say fuck it.
Quentin Byfield has better odds at getting the Calder over.
But
Alex
I want to
Turcotte.
go with a fun one.
You know who has the best odds at the Calder Trophy?
Lafreniere.
Nope, Igor Shesterkin.
Oh,
I saw
Shesterkin.
that.
You're right. Yeah, I did see that.
Yeah, Shesterkin had it. Damn, the Rangers are gonna be good. But
they're not gonna make the playoffs.
Nope.
They're not.
The New York Islanders are better.
The New York Islanders are a better team. Not as good prospects.
They got a great fourth line.
Great fourth line. Matthew Barzel.
Right,
Sounds back.
Calder, just because we have to go, we're running these predictions throughout the year, and we will have to come back to these and see who was right. I'm going Turcotte. Yeah, exactly. I'm going Turcotte just for the fun of it. Art Ross, I think it's Giroux. I think that's why he wins. Or no, McKinnon. Fuck it. It's such an easy division. I'll go McKinnon. And then Rocket Richard. Let's go Ovi again. I just want to see him break that record so badly.
Oh, why? Fuck. I want to see him break that record so bad.
I want to see him.
Yeah, let's go Ovi again.
That's kind of cool. Me and Zach picked Matthews too. I was like, "Fuck, I want to pick somebody else," but I was like,
"Dude, I just don't trust him."
Weak division.
Yeah.
I just don't trust him, man.
He does have injury issues.
Well, not only injury issues, he just sometimes falls off throughout the season.
Well, I mean, he can't be on the whole entire fucking time.
Yeah. Hold on.
Yeah, true.
You want to see the goalies he shoots against this season?
Oh, fuck, that's right. I didn't even think about that.
Braden Holtby. I mean, he's got Braden Holtby, Connor Hellebuyck.
Yeah, there's 3 good goalies in that division.
Out of 4 teams. No, I'm just playing.
No, 4 teams in playoffs. There's what? Is there?
Honestly, yeah, the goalies that he's playing up against? No, but I still think.
Braden Holtby, Carey Price.
That's it. In that whole division.
Cam Talbot? I'm just kidding.
Come on now. That's what I'm saying. 3 goalies. 3 good goalies.
No, you're right.
That was another thing that was like.
We're right.
That was another thing that made it tough to consider. it made it so tough to consider because you have like the divisions that are lined up, they're only playing each other.
That's why
they're playing no one else. So it is really tough to decide like individual awards.
They're playing.
I have McKinnon. If McKinnon's the heart and the Art Ross, he's gonna have the most points. He's playing the fucking West Division.
The divisions are only playing themselves.
Yes.
Yeah. The teams that are in, they're playing each other
games against the same teams.
Yep.
Yeah, you're playing like the same teams like 8 times. I think it's 8 or 9 times, or
it's 8 times, and then I think the Canadian teams are playing each other 10 times. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Fucking eggs, bacon.
Yes, sir. That's what I'm saying.
The Kings are definitely making the playoffs.
Austin Matthews is legitimately playing the Edmonton Oilers, the Calgary Flames, goaltending, and
Ottawa Senators.
That's 30 games.
Oh, that's right.
Homeboy's gonna have 70 goals at the end of the season,
dude. But that's also why I chose like Colorado to have the President's Trophy, because if they're playing the same teams over and over again, they're gonna fucking stomp.
Arizona, yeah.
The Anaheim Ducks.
Yeah.
You know what? This is gonna be a fun season. This is gonna be a wild season, I think.
I'm definitely going to Austin Matthews #1 overall, bro.
The fantasy is going to be so fun this season.
Just take all.
People are not going to think about it. I'll tell you right now.
Just take all Toronto players, dude.
Bro, I barely thought about it right now. Like coming up with predictions, like I was just like,
we shouldn't have done it. We shouldn't have done it.
Done what?
We shouldn't have told y'all to look at fucking Toronto.
Well, we have to, or else we'd have no less content on the podcast.
Alex is over here, like fucking having like mock drafts where he takes like fucking Cedric Paquette and shit.
Dude, no, those mock drafts are so bad. I tell him to stop doing them. You get in these mock drafts.
Dude, people know nothing.
They either know nothing or they're just doing it because they know it's most people don't take it serious. So they just like pick the most random fucker, and then like you screw yourself because you think, oh, this guy might be available in this. Like he said, the 7th round for Debrinket. Like, are you kidding me?
Not in our league. It's not happening. Yeah.
No. Like, no. Sorry.
I got a comment. I don't know have you guys seen my name in the league yet?
No, I haven't looked yet.
Yeah, I haven't looked at the league at all.
It's a good one.
I am gonna look now. Is it not supposed to be red?
No, you can read it. Yeah.
Okay, I'm pulling it up right now because I have to know. I might change mine. Mine's usually 2 cups, 1 Kopitar, but that's so old.
Honestly, I wouldn't even pick a team from the East.
NCHL or the other one?
NCHL.
Okay.
Well, the name's the same in both of them.
Okay.
I wouldn't even pick a team from the East to win a Stanley Cup just because they're going to be dead.
Yeah.
By the time the Stanley Cup comes on.
Nobody's going to have legs.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
I like it. I think we've actually used that as a podcast title before.
I think so. Yeah.
Talking about
Thomas Shabbat.
Mm-hmm.
Shabbat Shalom.
I'm still mad Alex got that fucking name before I did. McKinnon Outberger.
Random Facebook user. Is this still Dave?
Wait, you bitches are doing fantasy and didn't invite?
You're in the fucking Discord.
That's if it's Dave.
You're in the fucking Discord.
We just asked him if he wanted to be in, and he said, yeah, I'm in, and we haven't created that one yet.
Yeah, we haven't created the other one. Because we skipped this last year, didn't we?
No, we played. It just stopped.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
It stopped because the season never finished. Yeah, so anyways, we are running an NCHL fantasy hockey league, which is just for NCHL players. But we are also doing our normal personal sudden death kids SDK. It's going to be what, 7th season now, Scott?
6th or 7th, yeah.
6th or 7th season. Zach and Dave. Yeah. So we're going to be running 2 different leagues. It'll be fun. especially now. Hopefully, most people don't remember or listen to this episode until after we do the fantasy draft.
I agree.
So they forget about the matchups, but I don't really care because we usually actually do a fantasy episode where we actually recommend like sleepers and stuff. But
fuck that.
I don't know. I don't really care.
No recommendations.
Zach's giving 0 recommendations. He wants you to
We're
I
not
have
giving
no
away
part
shit.
of that episode. I'm going out of town, guys.
I will say, actually, pretty much every time that we've done it, though, we've done the fantasy suggestions, people have actually, in our fantasy league, have listened.
Listen and actually kicked our ass. I mean, not
It's
lose,
fucking
but like
annoying.
those players actually did good and used it against us.
Yeah.
But that's all we got. Last thing we do is have beer. I don't know if Zach, did you have one?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you did.
was
Ooh,
good.
chubby unicorn, POG.
Yeah. Very fruity, very easy to drink. I would definitely get this one again. Again, like, I mean, it's not something that I'm like, I need to go out and find that and get that. It's from Common Space.
I like Common Space a lot. Everything I've had there has been really good. I've only had it a few times.
I think it's a new light. You can't see. It's a milkshake India Pale Ale with passion fruit, orange, and guava purees. So it's really good. Mosaic hops on it, 8.0. Very, like I said, very fruity, very easy to drink. Not boozy at all. So yeah, I would definitely get it again if I see it in the shop and I didn't have something I was targeting specifically.
Nice. I like it. And then I have this one from Tembler Brewing. For those that are watching the video can see my can. Those that aren't, it's called Stouts Got Mintier Lately. Have you noticed? And it looks like it's a nice little shout out to The Office. Has kind of the Dunder Mifflin signage to the brewing company. Like I said, Tembler Brewing Company up in Bakersfield. This is an Imperial Chocolate Mint Stout, and it's with peppermint, not normal mint. So actually, it's really good. It tastes like like those when you go to like Olive Garden or some of the restaurants and you have the little chocolate peppermints.
It tastes like a peppermint mocha,
huh? No, it was a little bit more. No, it wasn't that. It was more like the actual. I would say the candy. It wasn't super sweet, but yeah, like the ones that are more pepperminty than sweet. It's not overly sweet. That's what I think of sometimes with those the peppermint mochas.
Yeah.
This is 11%. Not boozy at all. I thought it was a pretty good easy drinker for 11% Imperial Stout, but I mean, Stout's not really an easy drinker, but I'd definitely get it again. Tembler makes some good shit.
Definitely a good dessert beer, huh?
Yeah, for sure. And good thing we record late, so I can have some of these more desserty beers and not feel overly stuffed. So, rating scale.
On a scale
of 1 to 10 ads on your helmet.
Okay. I'm gonna go 7.5 ads.
I like it.
And they just cut off an ad.
Yeah. And then I'm gonna go an 8. I'm gonna go 8 ads on the helmet here. For this one, I like I said, really good dessert beer. Have it again. Both good. Alex, sorry you didn't get to join us for the rest of our predictions, but he will be back next week. Like I said, next week we will have our bold predictions. As well as our breakout candidates, which is different from a bounce back. Obviously, we think these are players that were taking the step in the right direction or had a good season last season, but are really going to take the next step forward. So that's going to also be a fun episode. That will be our last episode before the NHL season starts. So once that gets going, obviously we're going to have constant flood of information to be reporting to you guys. Thoughts. I think we'll probably even have some expansion on how we do things because I think Zach has some ideas on, we like using most of our episode for questions and discussions from the fans or the listeners. You might not be a fan, but you listen anyway. So we like doing that. We will be reporting on all the news that happens, all the games over the week. But please get your questions together. We're really going to start hounding that again because we're not as much on our creative segments. So get ready. Season's coming. We have a good episode coming next week. Zach, I know you got some stuff you want to say too.
You can find me on the We're Los Angeles podcast tomorrow. We'll be streaming on our Facebook page, We're Los Angeles podcast. I actually had to create a Facebook page specifically for it, so we have somewhere to stream. So we'll be doing that tomorrow about 7:30. Kings centric. All we talk is about the Kings and stuff like that. So if you're a Kings fan, make sure to tune into that. I don't think we're doing ZadMap this week. We haven't really talked about it, so probably not going to do that at all this week.
I would assume probably because you're doing the other podcast. I don't know.
Yeah.
Matt says he wants a Sabres show.
Yeah.
Then come on, Matt.
He hit me up about it. I just told him that obviously yesterday we didn't do our show, and then we had this one already planned. So I told him we would get him on once the season starts.
Yeah, I would like that. I honestly don't know enough about Buffalo. Like as much as I'd like to know about.
We'll be able to speak to it, but I know Matt having the hometown feel for it would probably add a really cool spin on it.
But you know what they say, boys? Oh, yeah.
Hold on. Make sure you follow in the neutral zone. We have all of our social medias, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter,
YouTube.
Yep. YouTube. Please subscribe. YouTube's a little bit more important on the subscribing.
Oh yeah.
But
if they follow on Twitch, we could start making money.
This is true.
This is true.
Get us an affiliate. We need an affiliate tag.
I will show tits for affiliate.
Hey,
yes. Tits for affiliate. I love it. But yes, so give us all of those social medias.
Tits for affiliate.
I was trying to think of something, but it just didn't roll off the tongue. But that's pretty much all we got. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Appreciate the conversation we've been having over here with all of you guys in the comments. Looking forward to another great show next week, so tune in. But as always,
with that being said,
with that being said.